Now, very important, I think it's time that we should also look into the action verbs or the instruction words, because it will lead you in a way how to answer your question. It's important that you read the instruction words within the question carefully so that you can form a clear idea of what is wanted. There are some instruction words that I want to run quickly through with you. The first one is describe. Describe. Now, whenever you heard this word in the essay type questions, you should give a verbal picture or a diagram of the topic you are dealing with. In your description, you should give specific details regarding your topic. Another action verb can be discuss. In other words, here means to examine various ideas pertaining to the topic and argue which you think is best. The ideas you should examine are those of writers who have written on the topic and those of your own. Another action verb is explain. Now, very important is we do this because we want you to show understanding of these action verbs in answering the essay type questions. Explain, here we means you must show how a thing works or to give reasons why something happens. Compare. This means to examine the differences and similarities regarding two things in terms of certain criteria. Examine. Another one, examine. In other words, analyze. Examine, look at the detail, inspect and analyze, and come up with understand how does it works. The next instruction word or the next action verb is analyze. What does analyze mean? And very important, children, very, very important, this is the crack, the heart of an essay type question. In any essay type question, remember, you must analyze. To break down into smaller understandable parts and to ask questions regarding the nature of the thing or idea. And then you come up. Another one is criticize. Criticize. In other words, when the action verb in the scenario of the essay type question says you must criticize, what does it mean? In this case, you must point out what is wrong with a proposition. You must also say why others believe the proposition is incorrect. You may suggest alternatives. Evaluate. To judge, to decide what is best. It is essential you give reasons for your answers. Right. So we have done now and look at the most common action verbs that you will meet in your examination. Right. Now, step one, read the question. In other words, what is the action verb? Underline it. It must tell you what to do. Still under the second point under step one is analyze what content is wanted. In other words, this is done by breaking up the question into smaller understandable parts. Note if there is any sub-instructions. This will include if you must solve any problems, give reasons for claims, or do further analysis. I just want to give you an example here. In the modern time, examiners likes to use the word impact. Give the impact of. Now, very, very important. This is number 3 in step 1. Note if there are any sub-instructions. When you see the word impact in the question, then you must know I must come up with positives as well as negative of this topic. There you see the different, I have tried to come up with in this slide some monkeys. Always, first step, always read the question. Note the keyword, in other words, underline the action verb. What is the question asking? And draw up your essay plan. In other words, let us look at, this is a question taken from a previous question paper. Let me read the scenario. Anthony Chanderman is a professional labor consultant based in Cape Town or even in Bloemfontein. He has been requested by Sun International or the Windmill to do a presentation to newly appointed HR managers on the process and the procedures relating to human resource management. This is the scenario. And remember what we have said. We have said in our introduction, we must try and avoid the case study, the words or the phrases used in the case study. Now we come to the question. Discuss the various human resource steps that Chanderman needs to follow in his presentation to the human resource managers. Indicate the significance of each human resource step in your answers. Suggest whether human resource managers should follow the various steps at all times. Substantiate your answer. Now, very, very important is, I have read you the essay as well as what you must do. Remember what we have said. We have said that underline, find out what is the action verbs, find out what you must do, and so on. Now, very important is, first of all, I have said to you, let us read until we understand. The scenario, we understand the scenario by now. This person is a professional labor consultant, and he was requested by Sun International to do a presentation to newly appointed HR managers on the process and the procedures relating to HR. Now, very, very important. When he do this, he must discuss the various human resource steps. That you must discuss the various human resource steps, and then what Chanderman needs to follow in his presentation to the HR managers. He must also indicate the significance of each human resource steps in your answer. Suggest whether the HR managers should follow the various steps at all times, and you must substantiate. Now, very, very important. Let us look into the instruction. The instruction or the command word, there are various ideas. There's the discuss. We have here what was discussed previously. Then the process and the procedures is the human resource provision, the training and development, labor relations, performance and appraisal, and then conditions. And why are these? This is where you come up, and you come up with something out of the textbook, your own. You should make your own conclusions. Why are the procedures important? In other words, you must link it to productivity in the business, you must link it to the success of the business, to the quality of the products, and so on. Problem solving is also very important. Indicate whether significance. This is problem solving, decision making and planning, uniqueness of circumstances. Then this is step 1. We go to step 2.